13 days, Manchester United are back in action. I've got to ask you boys, is Ten Hag going to be in the dugout still?
No way. No way. He's going home, back to Holland. I'd like to see Solskjaer back, myself, personally. But obviously we're going to see Ruud van Nistelrooy take over. That's what I strongly believe is going to happen.
But long-term replacement, would you like OLE?
Yeah. He finished second. You know, he's the best. He's done the best out of everyone so far, after Fergie and Mourinho. But who else is there to pick from?
Do you sort of wish you lost that game, just so that the future was sealed, that Ten Hag was actually out the door?
No, just we need certain players to be dropped, i.e. Rashford, Bruno, Onana. The list goes on. It's terrible.
It's 3 games, 3 Premier League games in a row that you haven't scored. It's your worst start to a Premier League season ever. I know you've scored in the Europa League and whatnot, but where are the goals coming from in the Premier League? Xerxes looked off it when he came on. Rashford looked off it as well.
He's got to play on both.
Can't answer it.
That's the
But
answer.
what evidence are they giving us? So, no comment for that. It's terrible.
Are you bored?
Yeah,
Fed up?
massively bored. Like I travel from Wales each game, so it's an insult as well.
Do you feel like you should be refunded?
Yeah, for my season ticket, damn right.
Right, mate, 13 days' time, Manchester United are back playing in the Premier League. Will Erik Ten Hag be in the dugout, and would you like him to be in the dugout?
Yeah, I'd like him to stay. Obviously, you can't. We're only 7 games into the season. You've got to give him a chance. We still got players which are injured. We got players which haven't even started. Lenny Yorrell, for instance. The one up front is not working. He has to change the formation. He needs to play a diamond shape with either Højlund up front with Xerxes behind him or vice versa. And just stop starting Eriksen. You got Bruno there. You got Ahmed, Mainu and Garnacho. Garnacho's looking tired now at the moment. Mainu's just picked up another excuse my language, sorry, but it's just annoying. It's just the same thing week in, week out. Back and forth to the keeper. He can't play 8 from the back. That's one thing we cannot do, is play 8 from the back, and it's got to change. I just don't know what it is, but
Would you sort of wish you lost so that Ten Hag was out of the door or not?
Nah, never wish a loss. Never. You can't wish that on a manager, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not just down to him, is it? It's down to the players as well. I think he's lost the dressing room myself, and it didn't help at the beginning of the season when they were looking for a new manager. He's going to lose the dressing room, and he's going to lose some of the players because he's going to know what manager's coming in, if he's staying or going. It boils down to the Glaziers yet again, and that's all it boils down to. All right, we've got Radcliffe in now, but nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. He's brought players in, all right, and that's it. Nothing's changed.
I know it's 3 games without a goal in the Premier League at the moment. Obviously, you've scored in the Europa League and whatnot. But where are the goals coming from? Rashford, dejected. Xerxes comes on, misplacing passes.
I can't answer that at the moment, mate. We don't even know ourselves, at the end of the day. He's playing 1 up front. He's got to change the formation. He's got to play 2 up front or play Højlund with Xerxes playing behind him. That's the only way it's going to work. And you got to just stop playing all the experienced players, but they're all past it. Eriksen, Casemiro, they're all past it. He's got to start Mainu, Diallo, Fernandes, and either Rashford or Garnacho every single game.
If Ten Hag is to go in the next 13 days, who do you want in into the long term?
That's a tough one, really, isn't it? No. Look how many managers we've had in the last 10 years, and nothing's happened, nothing's changed. It's just the same football, back and forth. Nothing has changed. Probably Solskjaer.
It almost feels like you're getting a bit emotional, off the back of that.
It's just annoying, isn't it? Like my mate said, we travel every day, week in, week out, home and away. And now we've come here, all right, we've got a draw. It's not bad on the back of our last 2 results. They played a little bit better today, but it's just so slow from the back, it's just not working at all. I just think I don't know, drop the keeper, mate. I would change keepers and play the Turkish number 1, Bender. Yeah, I would myself. I think that's we got to lose. We got nothing to lose. Change your keeper.
Right, mate, probably the most drab game we've seen all season. 13 days' time, Manchester United back in action. Do you expect Erik Ten Hag to still be in the job? I know it's brutal.
I think this cycle, I was just talking to someone else, this cycle is so repetitive. Manager's job is on the line, somehow pull out a result. Against Villa, team that just beat Bayern, a lot of fans will say this is a result, but I don't think as a manager that's aiming for Europe, aiming for the top, should be settling for, because this game, in my opinion, it was ours for the taking. Good few chances that Garnacho and Bruno won in 2-on-1. I think we should have scored that. Bruno's free kick that hit the post, and defensively we were better than our last match. But again, a 0-0. No, the attacking post he really wasn't there. He tried Rasmus from the start, like it didn't work. When Xerxes came on, didn't really work either.
Are you bored as a Manchester United fan?
It is boring. It's for the past 4 seasons now, 4 or 5 seasons. This cycle of manager's job is in danger. Pull out a victory, go down again. It is boring. It's repetitive. Yeah.
If Ten Hag were to get sacked in the next 13 days, who do you want to come in to replace him in that Manchester United dugout?
Me personally is Zidane, but obviously that's not going to happen.
Yeah, let's try and be realistic.
Nagelsmann. I like Nagelsmann. Tuchel as well. I like what he did at Chelsea, but again, realistically, yeah, Nagelsmann probably, yeah.
Right, 13 days time off the back of the international break. Brutal question: will Erik Ten Hag still be in the job?
I think he might be, but whether he should be is a different question. I think, as sad as it would be to see him go, I think we're going nowhere, and I think the time's come for a change. Even if it's an interim situation, just through to the end of the season, with a view on to appointing somebody permanently from next July.
This is a weird question that I'm about to ask, but do you sort of wish you lost so his future was sealed, or what?
We were talking about that before the game. You never come and want Man United to lose. So, but the thought was there.
Who would be the ideal replacement in your eyes?
Well, I think it would be Van Nistelrooy temporarily. See how he does, but probably with an eye to next July.
Mate, 13 days time, Premier League returns, Manchester United in action. Will Erik Ten Hag be in the dugout or not?
I think he will, because I think if they were going to make the change, I don't think they needed to wait for 2 random games to make it. But yeah, it's probably the first time, even like when we lost 4-0 at Palace last season, I was still Ten Hag in. But I think the lack of mitigation now, 3 years in, no real discernible style, it is hard to make the case to keep him now.
Are you bored?
No, I always find it I thought we were okay today for 70 minutes. We were a bit, pinball at the end. There wasn't much sort of impetus, but we were a lot better. I was at Tottenham last week and we couldn't string a pass together, so we're definitely better, but yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's going where we want it to go, does it?
It's 3 Premier League games without a goal as well. For Manchester United, that's just unheard of. Let's be quite frank about that. Where are the goals coming from? You can score in Europe, but you can't score in the Premier League. There seems like there's no cohesion between that front 3. So who's going to be scoring these goals?
Yeah, I think, we still struggle, I think, to hold on to the ball properly for large periods of games and put people under pressure. And I suppose maybe that's to do with the press and the centre-backs not being able to push up high enough for us to retain the ball and really put teams under the cosh. But, yeah, we're struggling, definitely. It doesn't look, when we had the ball... When we had the ball around their box today, I didn't feel confident we were going to score. What closest we were was a bloody free kick, wasn't it, again? So, yeah, disappointing.
I know it's a weird question, and I've asked it so many times already, but do you sort of wish you lost that game so the manager would be sacked or not?
Nah, I feel like, we always want United to win. And to be fair, I'd like him to turn it around. Like, I've had 2 great days from going to the FA Cup final and the Carling Cup final and watching us win under him, and at times it looks like it's going in the right direction, but it's maybe gone too far now.
Gone too far?
It's the first time I've thought it's maybe gone too far for him, yeah.
Ideal replacement if he were to go, who is it?
Well, they've obviously looked at Tuchel and probably decided he's not for them. Do they go left field with someone like Ruben Amorim, who's got a philosophy in it? But I mean, Ten Hag was another philosophy, wasn't he? So Van Nistelrooy won the league with Feyenoord, didn't he? It's tricky. Like, there's no obvious candidate, is there, at the moment? Unless, do they go for Emery?
What do you think is a poison chalice? Obviously, they're looking at people in the summer. Yeah. Looking at people in the summer. Ten Hag was on holiday, didn't know what his future held. Is it a case? I know it's one of, if not the biggest club in the world. Does anyone, top-level manager, actually want to go into that dugout at Old Trafford?
Yeah, well, I mean, it does feel like they've tried pretty much every type of manager, haven't they? They've had the Fergie appointment in Moyes. They've then had the serial winner in Mourinho. they've had philosophy in Van Gaal and Ten Hag, and then they've had the kind of in-house club manager in Solskjaer. So what's left, like, other than nicking Guardiola or getting Klopp? Where'd you go?
You just think you're running out of options?
Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it? Like, in terms of, on paper, they've tried various different things. I know it's all been under the Glazers, but Ten Hag's had a lot of money to spend now. Ole wasn't backed in the same way that Ten Hag was, so I don't really know where we go, to be honest. They've run out of answers.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.